Well, we hear that a lot from the people that we talk to.
As you drive south, heading towards Grafton, you can either go through Grafton or I went up Centenary Drive, and as I climbed the hill and got over the crest of the hill, I noticed something in the middle of the road taking its time to cross the road. But at that stage, my headlights hadn't hit it, but it's been a full moon down here, so that didn't mean anything. I thought it was just some slightly stooped, large person with a big black coat on or something. Didn't know what they were doing walking across the road at 2:30 in the morning. And then by the time I came round a bit of a right-hand sweeping bend, it had loped across the road and gone across about 30 metres of grass and clay, shoulder of the road. And then I noticed that it had gone into a small clump of trees, and as I drove past, it was silhouetted against the moonlit sky. It was just a giant, heavily built, hairy thing resting quite casually against a tree, looking at the view. Probably wouldn't have been doing any more than 60 kilometres an hour, I suppose, anyway, because it was a very steep climb off the highway up that little hill. When I first saw it, then I slowed right down because it seemed to want to take its time, and then it sort of half loped, half on front and back legs, sort of almost like an ape running to get massive speed, went into a small copse of trees, and I thought, well, it's gone. And I just kept looking, and there it was, just standing in the moonlight. You come up Centenary Drive, heading south. Centenary Drive comes off the highway, a ridge of a hill, probably 100 metres or so high, and then joins back to the Pacific Highway just before Bomb Forest there. On the northern end of Centenary Drive, when it first branches off the Pacific Highway, it climbs steeply up that 100-metre hill. Probably does it in about 400, 500 metres, so you're climbing pretty hard. That's why I wasn't going particularly quick. Most people would be flat out doing 60k anyway, going up that hill. Then you have a couple of farmhouses and a line of trees about 30 metres off the road. I saw it slowly walking across the road, and my headlights hadn't hit it, and I thought, gee, what's that? And then it really motored across the open space to the trees. I would say it didn't want to be seen. But instead of motoring through the trees and down into the farmland, it just rested one arm against the tree and looked out over the moonlit sky. And the actual view would be probably the best view in Grafton there. You should look across Rolling Hill, down a steep slope, across another rolling plain, the river, and then all the lights of Grafton. So if you're going to be looking for the best view in Grafton, that's it. I'm 5'8", so it wouldn't have been any much taller than me, but I'm extremely strongly built, and it would be at least twice my size. Massive.
Are you talking weight or wide or both?
Shoulders, arms, body size, trunk of the body, not fat, just sort of, if you've ever seen a rugby league prop forward or something like that, that type of massiveness, not just your normal build person, but twice the size of a normal build.
Did you see any colour?
It's almost black, the fur. It was silhouetted against the moonlight, which was moonlight, where I got the perfect view. The hair hanging off its arms got to be sort of 20, 30 centimetres either side of each arm, just almost like a head of hair hanging off their arms. And actually a square-shaped head, but it was almost like a hairstyle had been sort of created. So you wake up in the morning and it's tufty and sticking out either side, but it's square-shaped from the back. I didn't see it from the front. Only from the front as it went across the road, but...
Did you get a sense, was it smooth like a dog or kind of more shaggy or something in between?
A little bit straggly at the ends, but fairly thick, a little bit wispy at the ends, but long and thick, basically. And then sort of a little bit uneven on the ends. Well, I thought it was a man to start off with, wearing a large woolen coat of some description, just moving very slowly across the road. So, pardon me, it was definitely of human appearance. There were plenty of kangaroos that evening, so it definitely wasn't a kangaroo.
You had a clear view of arms and legs?
Pretty clear, yeah. I saw the arms very clearly. Human arms covered with foot-long hair, much thicker. It was sort of like, as in build-wise, it would make. I'm a gorilla myself, and it would make me look like a ballerina in comparison. Coming up the hill, and there's a right-hand sweeper at the top of the hill, and as I cleared the crest of the hill and started negotiating the right-hand sweeper, probably about 200 metres in front of me, as I started to accelerate, because you can actually get on the flat there. I saw what looked like a person sort of moving slowly across the road. As I got closer, it rapidly cleared the road, and I noticed gorilla or sort of knuckles and feet loping across the ground, almost like a four-legged animal rather than a two-legged animal. I thought, well, that's definitely not a human.
It seemed stooped?
Definitely stooped. It looked, so I thought it was an old person with a big coat on, but I've got a friend who's 6'8", and he doesn't look particularly tall till you go and stand next to him, because he's just so big. He's just well proportioned, so I didn't give it a thought about the actual size, but I actually thought it might have been a werewolf. And I've never seen a werewolf either, so don't get me wrong, I'm not insane, but if something that big got on its two legs and started walking across the road and then went to four legs, it's not human. And I immediately thought, gee, I don't want to be tangling with that. But I kept my eye on it as I drove past the area where it went into the trees, and it completely stood up, rested its right arm against a tree trunk, and basically calmly looked at the view.
It was looking away from you?
Looking away from me. There's two trees reasonably close together, maybe a metre and a bit apart, and it stood in between the two trees. I think maybe trying to blend in a little bit more of the background, hoping that I hadn't seen it. But at no stage had I intended to turn around and see it, because I wasn't thinking about Yowies, I wasn't thinking about anything. All I was thinking about, it's an extremely large animal, and no matter how curious I am about it, if I, like in the old movies, go away and then come back again thinking, oh gee, I wonder what that is, and then it destroys me, I'm not interested in that side of my curiosity, I'm afraid. But two trucks were coming the opposite direction as I was going along that road, and I said, I just warned them about the large kangaroos that were getting around, and also there's this big, black, hairy thing. And there was a very quiet, no reply. Normally the truck driver say, thank you, mate. Thanks, mate. Probably thinking I've completely lost it.
How long do you think you had it in view, like total period from when you first see it on the road? And
20 seconds. Take its time getting onto the road. Then it quickly cleared the road, and then it loped along the 30-odd metre shoulder and went into the trees